Hi, my name is Allie Robbins, and for the next half hour, you will be watching a show that I created. For the unique, for the creative, for the ones who think outside of the box. So grab some snacks and relax on your couch because you are watching N.E.A. New England Artists.
What's up, y'all? I go by the name of LB, aka Pound. I'm from New Haven, Connecticut. I'm a rap artist. I'm a spoken word artist, poet. I'm an actor. I'm a musician. Yeah. When I was about, I think, 4 years old, I I would always hear my father's band down here, actually in the basement, practicing. So I was always just around music, and I remember for like my fourth birthday, I got a drum set for a present, and I just banged the heck out of the drums, and like drumming was my thing. Used to love playing the drum set, growing up all the way up until about the age of 10 when the movie Drumline came out, and then I focused specifically on the snare drum, and I was able to play every cadence from that movie and still can do that to this day. Yeah, just fell in love with the snare drum after that, and then like about a year later somehow ended up, I don't know what caused wanting to do it. I guess it's the unspoken wanting to perform with that runs in the genes in my family, I guess, that made me want to join the school plays, and I started acting at the age of 11. And then 2 years later, having that background from the drumming and with hip-hop and rap really being such a hot thing and hot topic in pop culture, I just really fell in love with rap and really fell in love with more so the instrumentals and the beat. I would more so tune out the words to the actual songs and just listen to the beat. And there's this one in particular song out at the time that I remember. It was Make It Rain by Fat Joe, for example. But it wasn't the song itself, but more so the music and the beat that really just, I can't even describe like that feeling that made me just want to just something. Like, so I looked up the beat itself, and that's when I actually wrote my first rap. And I mean, the rest is history from there on out. For years now, I dedicated my daily, my life, if you will, to just writing songs and really expressing myself through my arts and through more so my music. Actually, right now, because I've been doing this for about 7, 8 years, I never actually came out with an initial project, but I am finally working on, after all these years and all this time, my first mixtape. And the reason why this is finally my first mixtape is because I didn't want to just put out a product, hey, there's a mixtape, just some songs and some singles. So this project is entitled Pound for Pound, and the reason it's entitled that is because I feel that with each track you're getting a different side or a different little bit and piece of me in each song. I tend to really want to make sure that I'm really expressing rather how I feel, or rather just a certain thought process or a certain kind of energy or a certain kind of emotion through each song. So that's why it's entitled Pound for Pound. Also, I'm going kind of with the theme of, like, being in a boxing ring or in a wrestling match or a UFC fight with the entire project. So that's coming out very soon. I'm looking for early 2014 for that. Pound for Pound by yours truly. And yeah. My biggest inspiration for getting into the arts. I don't know if this counts as an inspiration, but I'd have to say the ability to be able to express myself. Growing up, through school, I was always like the shortest kid in the class and stuff like that. I was always the one who was picked on and bullied, and I didn't fit in because I'm from the suburbs and everybody else is, more urban. They knew about BET and stuff, and I did not. I didn't know about BET until I was about maybe 12 or 13, and everybody else knew about it back when they were like 7, MTV either, for that matter. I knew about MTV Jams, which is like one of the music stations you get on Comcast cable. I was definitely, the way I would like to put it, is not just the oddball, but more so an outcast. And it's not something that I wish didn't happen, because with that happening to me, with having that experience all the way up until I graduated high school, not being the one who was in the loop. I like being out of the loop. I like being that different person, and not just looking for any way to be different, but being different by being me. This is who I am, LB. I like this, that, and the third, from sports to wrestling to video games to you name it. Well, can't name anything, but the things that I particularly like, and I'm not afraid or ashamed of who I am or what I'm interested in. And that is why I think that's my biggest, I'd have to say that's my biggest influence of why I do what I do, and that's to really be able, the freedom of expression that I have when it comes to making music, when it comes to performing on stage, anything of the sort. Other than that, I would have to definitely give credit to music running in my family, from my father, who's been in a band for over like 40 years. Beyond that, my uncle as well. My grandfather played the guitar, before he passed, like for his whole life until he passed. My sister plays the guitar, runs in the family. So that'd have to be the other influence there. How did I get the name LB? See, the thing about this story is it's a story that I wish I didn't have to tell, but I must tell it. I went to Co-op High School. That's like one of the only arts high schools in Connecticut. And I actually went there late. I went there like 3 months late because I didn't get accepted at first. So I went there in like, October-ish, November-ish. And so everybody else, freshman year, all the freshmen already knew each other. Now I'm the new kid on top of being a freshman. And my art was theater, because I've been acting since, the age of 11. So I chose theater as my art. And rapping at the time was my new passion at the time. It was more so brand new to me. So there was this event at the school. It was the coffee house. It's like an open mic for all the students. And one of my theater classmates was writing this Tyler Perry-esque-ish type skit. And seeing how I'm so light-skinned, he decided to name my character Light Bright, because everybody else in the play was, pretty much dark-skinned. Or in the skit, I should say. And after, I was brand new to the school, nobody knew me, and then bam, the coffee house comes, and I'm brand new, and nobody knows me, and here I am in this skit, new student. So I walk through the hallways the next day, and everybody and their mother is calling me Light Bright, and that ended up being my nickname. And then along the road, I met an upperclassman who now still to this very day is actually one of my very close friends. I consider him a brother, Henry Green, also known as Renegade, and he's shortened Light Bright to LB. And I don't know what it is about it. I was like, LB, I like that. It's really, it has a nice ring to it. So I took that and rolled with it. I started getting into the studio with they're practically family. I call them my brothers, Jordan Cloud and Joshua Hopkins, C4 and Tef. They, I've known them since literally birth. Like C4, he was there at the hospital when I was born. So, come to find out, as soon as I start getting into rap, they've been rapping for like about a couple years, and they got a studio right around the corner. I'm like, coming to the studio, and they're like, all right, well, what's your rap name? What's your stage name? I'm like, LB. Like, what's it stand for? I'm like, Light Bright. They're like, Light Bright. I'm like, yeah. And I had to tell them the same story I just told y'all. So eventually, get older, get around the age 16, whatever, 15, 16, and I'm like, LB is cool, but I can't be called Light Bright. Like, what kind of rapper's name is Light Bright, So I was like, I gotta give this my own definition, because, and that's something that the concept of giving LB its own definition, that's where the depth behind my name actually comes from, because I've been called all different kinds of names. Like I said, I was bullied, and I was called the short kid, and this, that, and the third, and the weird kid, and didn't know about BET and all this other stuff. And, I was the outcast. I was called a whole bunch of different names. And then it comes to find out that, I ended up being called Light Bright and LB. And this is one name that I actually was called by other people that I liked, because it wasn't anything really degrading or anything that, meant something else that, was to offend me. It was just an actual nickname. And because of that, I took that and gave it my own definition of Little Beast. And the reason I call myself Little Beast is because, yes, I'm a short guy, but I'm talented nonetheless. I am a beast and try to be the best that I can at whatever it is that I do. And that's the story behind the name of LB, the Little Beast. The way that Pound came about, I was a part of a movement entitled Worldwide. Actually, an acronym stands for We Only Reach Live Streams When It's Declared Everywhere. We were a movement, and we believe that if you have a talent, if you have any kind of way to express yourself, then you do so, and we will work with you to help you perfect your craft and go out and perform or show whatever it is that you do to be able to express yourself through whatever it is that you do. Even if you blew bubbles, we're going to make you the best bubble blower ever, so that people could recognize you for that, so that way you could tell them your story afterwards when you got through making bubbles, whatever it was. So during my days with Worldwide, my counterparts with that were Henry Green, Renegade, and his brother, that's also one of my closest friends, and my brother Novocaine, Solomon Green, Novocaine, and somehow, somewhere along the line, ironically, the same person who gave me the name LB says, "Yo, nah, that's enough with LB. You're Pound." I'm like, how are you just gonna up and change my name? First off, I decide what my name is gonna be. You can't change my name for me. You helped influence and give me the names to begin with. You can't take it away. I'm LB. And the more and more, he like, all right, but everybody in worldwide gonna call you Pound. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. Y'all could call me that if y'all want. But then the more and more, they kept calling me it. It was just like LB. It stuck on me. Pound. And at the same time, LB is Pound. As in, if you write down LB on a piece of paper, people are gonna read it as pound, as in weight. And that's where, again, I come and I take what I'm being called and I flip it. And my reasoning behind keeping the nickname for LB of Pound is that, pound is weight. You can't help but notice weight if you're holding weight. Or you can't help but notice, if you see something that has any kind of mass at all, even if it's an ounce, you see that object, So me keeping the name Pound is because, I'm something that you're gonna recognize. You're gonna feel the intensity. You're gonna feel the presence from not only my music but my performances as well. And a pound, rather it's a pound in weight or if it's a pound that you take from a hit, whatever you want to call it, however you want to, use a metaphor for it, you can't help but notice it. And that's my reasoning behind keeping that nickname for LB. I'm on the track or I'm gonna perform, that's why I just, I don't just say Pound, I'll be like LB, but if I'm gonna say Pound, I say Pound. I gotta let it be known because that's the reasoning behind me even having that be a part of my persona. The name of this song that I'm actually about to speak about is entitled Round 1. And it's going to be one of the very first songs that's going to be on the mixtape, Pound for Pound. And the reason I made this song is because, first off the beat. I just love the beat. The beat was actually sampled from Mortal Kombat. And it's just the way that the bass knocks and the way that it's just, oh my gosh, the way I just want to ride the beat. I just want to flow on the beat. Just makes me, it's like that X factor. You just gotta, you can't explain it. So the reason I wrote this song is one, like I said, because of the beat. Two, because here again with Pound for Pound, like I said, I wanted to go with that, like fighting type theme, that MMA, UFC type, wrestling type theme. I really wanted a banger. I really wanted a hit that I could just use as the main single for the project. And that's how this song came about. The beat was made by my brother's cousin, like 5-6 years ago. The beat is that old itself, but nobody's really heard it because they never used it. And I remembered it all these years later. I'm like, yo, I want that beat. I took the beat and I just, like I said, when it comes to me and rapping, I try to put a piece of me into my song. So I put a whole bunch of different punchlines and metaphors. That's one thing I love with me and my rapping. I love my punchlines. I love my metaphors. I love my drive for lyrical ability. So that's what this song really is for my lyrical ability, for my punchlines, for my really just get hyped, energetic type single. So Round 1. That's definitely one of my favorite songs that I've ever made, and definitely my favorite song that's coming up on this project. One word that I would use to describe my journey is endless. And the reason that I choose that word endless is because rather it be me and my rapping, my music, rather it be me and my acting, me and my musician skills, whatever it is, no matter how long I step aside or step away from any of these skills, I always, number one, find my way back to that skill. And at the same time, I never miss a step. I never miss a beat. I never, right where I, when I, if I, for example, I hadn't, before the beginning of 2013, I hadn't really made music for about a good 2 years. Since I graduated high school, I took like kind of 2 years off and hadn't really written anything as far as a song or a spoken word or a poem. I hadn't recorded like at all. And then here it is, 2013 started, and I started to get back to it, and here I am finally working on my first project. And I mean, not only did I not miss a beat, but I feel like I'm better than ever. So and as far as my journey, and from this point out, even if I hit it big and get a deal or get whatever, or however big my name becomes or anything like that, or even if my name doesn't even amount to that much, I'm always gonna be making my music. I'm always gonna be doing whatever it is that I do. Any one of my skills, I'm always gonna do those, despite anything. I'm always gonna do it. Always gonna rap, always gonna act, always gonna be a musician, always gonna do what I do simply because it's who I am. So that's why I choose the word endless to describe my journey, because no matter what, I'm never gonna stop. To any upcoming, I'm up and coming myself, but to any artists out there that are just starting to really, find their passion for rapping, for being a rap artist or a poet, spoken word artist, whatever, the one thing that I could say is, don't let society and don't let pop culture tell you who you are. Don't let, whatever you hear on the radio, be what your music is about. If you want to make songs about whatever it is you want to make songs about, go ahead and make songs about what you want to make your songs about. Because, if you're just making music just so that people will listen to it and like it, because it's the same, it's another version of what they're already getting on the radio, then that doesn't make, you're talented nonetheless, but that doesn't make anything special about your music. That doesn't make it personal. Me, when I make a song, rather it's about whatever, anything between video games or whatever, just being good at rapping, or a personal experience, which there are plenty of those, personal experiences that I turn into songs that actually are very emotional to me. But I'd rather make a song and or hear a song that is something real, opposed to just a song, any of the songs that you hear on the radio that's about being in the club until 3 a.m. and smoking and drinking this and and sleeping with this chick, that chick, and this, that, and the third. That's aside from my beliefs. I'm very religious. I'm a Christian, but that's aside from my beliefs. Even if I was to do whatever, I still wouldn't want to make music about all of that stuff. Even if I did any of that stuff, I wouldn't want to make music about that, because who cares? Rather, if you're gonna do the stuff like that, you're gonna do that stuff regardless if you hear it on the radio. I want to hear something, or like I said, make something that is gonna definitely have an impact on somebody's way of that they're thinking. If they're going through something similar to what I've been through, then I'm helping them by simply just putting it out there that, hey, I've been through the same thing that you've been through, or y'all, this is what I'm going through, and I appreciate y'all support, or whatever it is. Or hey, even if it's just a fun-loving song, or just a song where I'm just trying to up my skills and up my lyrical ability, just having fun, yes, but also at the same time being real with it. So that's the number one thing I would have to say to any artists that are out there starting. Definitely be yourself. Don't let the industry or society or pop culture determine the kind of artist that you're going to be. All right, y'all. It's been fun. It's been a pleasure and honor. I go by the name here again of LB, aka Pound. You can contact me, facebook.com/pound87, POUND87. Same thing for Twitter, Instagram. Yeah, mainly those three sites. That's what I'm on. If you want to email me, it is allen.thomas87@gmail.com. ALLEN, capitals A and T. And that's just about it, y'all. Thank you. Pound!
Blow 'em away in the breeze like leaves. I'm shredding them like lettuce and I'm smacking them with cheese. Y'all is zeros, I'm a 7+3. And I kick it just like Anthony Pettis right in your teeth. Any tricks up my sleeve, I'ma use it. I'm tuning up the band to give them sweet chin music. Leave you dazed, have you looking like a nuisance. Foolish, maybe I should knock you with some 2 cents. Smarten up, homie, you better learn up. Can't lower me down, I'm about to turn up. God told me I'm a warrior, I'm scorching ya. So on any given track, I'ma torch ya, bruh.